Listen up, man. Let's get right down to it. You read the title. Semen retention makes you a threat to the system. Yes, sir. Let me say that again for the people in the back. Listen up, my guy. The practice of semen retention and the path of spiritual celibacy makes you, yes, you motherfucker, a threat to the system. And you might be wondering, okay, man, what the fuck does that even mean, bro? You're telling me if I retain my seed, if I practice SR, if I'm on the path of celibacy, that I become a threat to the system? Should I want to become a threat to the system? What system am I threatening? Well, relax. Relax. Relax, my guy. I'm going to need you to just take a deep breath. Come on, do it with me. Get yourself grounded because it's time for your boy to break this bitch down real quick like a brick for y'all. So first things first, what you must come to understand along this journey that we call life is that you, yes you motherfucker, are living within the matrix, within the illusion, under the veil of Maya. You are living within a machine, and your mind has kept you stuck in imprisonment within that machine. Let that marinate in your mind. Let that sink into your psyche, my boy. Your very mind has been realigned to imprison your spirit, to imprison your soul. Same thing with your body. Your body and brain has been realigned, distorted, warped to become enemies of the spirit, of the soul. You see, within the world that we are living in today, you and I are mere cogs in the machine. We're simply just a small little screw or gear that keeps this whole thing running. And what is the thing that's running? It's the veil. It's the illusion. It's the simulation that we call life. Not just life, but in specific, the mechanical nature of life. AKA where people are programmed to survive, get some money, go chase pleasures, have some sex, have kids, and then attain status in life. Survival, sex, status. The lower three planes of consciousness, the lower three chakras. This is what the machine is cranking out. This is what the matrix is molding us into slaves for. Survival, sex, and status. And the more that you sit and just look around you, the more you'll start to realize that what I'm saying is the cold, hard facts. It ain't some shit that I just made up. This is the truth. This is reality. This is what you are living in. Some people never come to the realization of this because they're so stuck rooted in those lower three planes, into survival, sex, and status. They never go beyond it because they never seek anything past it. Because they're always getting fed all this stimulation from the world around them, from society around them. Junk food, pornography, hookup culture, social media, mindless entertainment, just dumb shit that is dumbing them down to the lower planes of consciousness. This is what the system thrives off of: ignorance. Let me say that again. What does this system thrive off of? Ignorance. When you're ignorant, not IQ level, you can have a fucking great IQ but still be an ignorant slave. When you're an ignorant slave, you further feed into this whole facade. And the way that you remain an ignorant slave is believing that all you are is simply just a brain and body, and all you were brought here to do is simply just to stimulate your senses. You see, when you go chase for survival, sex, and status, do you ever truly feel fulfilled? No, there's billionaires out there with all the cars, the money, the clothes, and hoes that still self-delete themselves on a day-to-day basis. Why? You might wonder why. They got everything on the material. They got the bitches, they got the Bugattis, they might even got the biceps. But they still have never attained true bliss, never attained true happiness, never attained true autonomy, aka control over their lives. They are slaves to the material. They are slaves to status. They are slaves to sex. They are slaves to survival, and they are slaves to the system. That's the cold hard facts. Cold hard facts. And for some people, you may have clicked off this video. Go fuck yourself, you know? You ain't ready for this game. You ain't ready for this knowledge. You ain't ready for this gnosis. But for the people that are picking up what I'm putting down, let's get even deeper. You see, this world is configured in a way to warp your states of consciousness to make you believe that life is simply just about you. You. Your pursuits, your pleasures, your happiness. Because it creates this individual view of life. Yes, you are in an individual body right here, right now, with an individual intellect. But the spirit, the soul, originates from a universal source. And that universal source manifests as everything. All is one, one is all. God is everything. God is you, God is me. You are not this human body. You are not this human brain. You are a spirit, a soul experiencing life throughout the human experience within this specific lens. But it's a limited lens. You see, the spiritual path, the spiritual life is about going from this limited view of life into the limitless view of life. From the limited lower planes of consciousness to the infinite higher planes of your intellect. Yet that is never accessible for a man who remains stuck under the hypnotic spell of lust. If we're being totally honest, lust, aside from survival, is the main thing that has a grip over your consciousness. If you got food, water, shelter, you find you're going to be chasing after pleasure. And the biggest pleasure that's on your plate is sexual pleasure. Is sexual pleasure bad? Absolutely not. There's a reason why you have sex. It's called procreation. That's the main purpose of it. But us as human beings within this machine, within this cog, with becoming a cog to the machine, start to warp what reality is about. Start to warp what the nature of life is about. It's all about me. Because let's be honest, when you're wanking your schlong to pixels on a screen, who's the only person that's quote unquote pleasuring from it? You. But when you actually have sex the right way, you are creating another human being. You're creating another child. When you have sex for just hookups, you're just trying to reach climax. Me. You are living life in a state where you're just taking shit. You don't realize that you're taking from the same essence that you are. Let that sink into your mind. You are taking from yourself, essentially. When you are on this path of the spiritual life, you are giving back the gifts to yourself. When you start to recognize your destiny, when you start to recognize your dharma, by dissolving your karmas, dissolving the attachments that keep your consciousness anchored to the lower planes, what you are really doing at the end of the day is giving back your divine potential to the world to help spark others to do the same, and it comes back to you, and it comes back to them, and it comes back to you because you have realized the eternal self. Again, that is not accessible in these lower planes of consciousness. You must ascend beyond that. And one of the biggest barriers that most men have in today's day and age is lust. This is why when you practice retention, when you partake along the spiritual path of celibacy, when I'm saying the spiritual path of celibacy, I'm talking about the dharmic path of celibacy. We just dropped a video a couple days ago here on this channel about the difference between dogmatic celibacy and dharmic celibacy. Definitely tune into that if you have not already. But in short summary, dogmatic celibacy is what you see in religions. Don't have sex before marriage because it's bad, you're a sinner, you're gonna go to hell, all that bullcrap. Dharmic celibacy is about using your sexual energy, your prana, the most potent force of your prana, to propel your consciousness past those barricades, past those walls, into your higher faculties, feeding this life force to your higher powers, to unlock your higher potential and realize your higher purpose. So when you're on the spiritual path of celibacy, actually practicing retention for the tool it was intended to be, you start to glitch the system. You're no longer a slave that's worrying about survival, sex, and status all the time. And when that happens, you become like a candle in a dark ass room that illuminates just a little bit. But that flame can spark up somebody else's candle. And their candle might spark someone else's. It's a domino effect that creates more glitches in the system. And the more glitches that we accumulate, the more the system starts to crumble. You know, you can't change the matrix, you can't change the Maya, you can't change the illusion, especially in today's day and age that we are living in, aka called Kali Yuga, the Dark Ages. This is a yogic terminology that talks about how life revolves around in cycles. This cycle that we are living in is where consciousness is at an all-time low and carnality is at an all-time high. What do I mean by carnality? Carnality means your animalistic nature. You are rooted in those lower three planes of consciousness. That is what you believe because that is only things that you perceive. You can't see the spiritual world, so most people deny the spiritual world. However, in other cycles of time, you are more rooted in the higher planes. You can feel the spirit naturally. We are starting off on ground zero. Ground zero. You got to climb yourself up out of the dark ages, the dark hellhole, to be able to realize your true nature. This is the time and age that we are living in. Spirituality is not seen or heard. I'm talking about true spirituality. I'm not talking about the new age fucking fugazi bullcrap telling you that you're a chosen one because you watched this YouTube channel, you clicked on this video. That's feeding the spiritual ego. The true spiritual path of self-mastery is about taming the ego. Realizing that the brain and body are supposed to be tools to help you transcend rather than anchors that prevents your soul's evolution. Lust is one of the heaviest anchors. Let's be honest. Let's be fucking honest. And they know that. The system knows that. And that's why they use it against you. They use your own biology against you. They use your own psychology against you. They promote nothing but hookup culture. They shove nothing but provocative shit in your face when you go on social media because they know that mankind right now in today's day and age is a fucking weak, pathetic version of himself who's a fucking slave to his senses. They know that. That's why this type of knowledge about semen retention, about celibacy, the true spiritual path of self-mastery is not something that is promoted heavily. They want to keep it undercover. They want to keep it underground. They don't push this stuff out because they know that the more men realize this knowledge and actually apply it into their lives, the more and more that they lose control over these cogs in their machine. The less cogs they have, the less proficient this machine can run because more people are awakening to this illusion, to this nonsensical mechanical life that brings them no fulfillment, that brings them no true purpose aside from just surviving, having sex, and achieving status. That is a pathetic life. For some people, they believe that's the dream life. The Andrew Tates, the top Gs, the alpha males, they're all fucking pathetic losers that live a life with no true fulfillment. That's why they need all these cars, these clothes, these money, these hoes. I'm not saying don't get a nice car. I'm not saying don't get money. I'm not saying don't get nice clothes. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is if you make that your God, you're essentially worshiping something that is fake. It's false. It comes and goes. Because you know for a damn fact that this shit is a bottomless pit. A bottomless pit that will never truly satisfy you. You can have this car and you need the next car. You can have this girl and you gotta fuck the next girl. You can have 10K in your bank account. Well, now you need 100K. Not even for freedom, not even for liberation, but you're a slave to the numbers. You're a slave to this whole system that is fake. We are living such a life that is so unnatural to our true nature that people are causing themselves to go crazy, have all these mental illnesses. Depression, anxiety, that's signs and signals that you are not living a life that is aligned to your destiny, aligned to your dharma. But what do we do usually? We dumb down the depression, anxiety through other means, drugs, sex, alcohol. But these are signs and signals from the soul, the spirit, the Atman, the higher self, telling you, hey man, you need to take a fucking U-turn. You're living a life that is further pushing you down this deep, dark hole that eventually you got to dig yourself out of, or sometimes just stay stuck in forever until you get into your next incarnation where you have to start from a much lower level because you've carried along all these karmic baggage with you. And you might be wondering, okay, man, how the fuck is semen retention and celibacy that powerful to break me free out of this system? This sounds serious, because it is serious, motherfucker. But you know what also is serious? Semen retention and celibacy. You might not understand this yet, because maybe you've been listening to other fucking people online telling you about what semen retention is about. Female attraction, your hair gets better, you start glowing. That's all surface level bullshit, to be honest with you. Those benefits don't mean anything. They don't stack up to the true spiritual progress you make along this path. Because what we are not trying to do along this journey of semen retention celibacy is to demonize sex, to make women out as the succubus girls that are coming after your energy. That's not what we're doing. It's we're taking back the reins of our own life. Your mind right now is hijacked by somebody else's programming, the systematical programming that makes you believe that all life is about is simply just attaining survival, sex, and status. It's like your car is driving to a place that you never really wanted to go, but you've been forced to go there. You know, if you ever had food from one of your friends or family members that is garbage, but you're being force fed it, and you're like, yep, it's great. That's your soul. But it can't fake it for too long. Yep, this is great fucking food. Or if your friend starts playing music for the first time and says, yo man, check out my song. You're like, yeah man, that was some fire shit. You're dropping some bars. You're like, god damn bro, this dude is ass. That's what's happening within this life. You're being force fed a fake sense of fulfillment. And most people, they get sedated by that. They are put into a state of spiritual amnesia. They don't realize that they don't like this. And they're being force-fed to eat shit. And you might be wondering, okay, man, having nice cars, having nice clothes, having all the hoes, that's bad? That's eating shit? Yes, because you're a slave to it. You're a slave to it. It's all compulsive. You know, the true divine masculine man, not the alpha top G idiot that you see online, can have everything taken away from him and he still remains the same when he has everything. He can have all the cars, money, clothes, and hoes, and he can have nothing and still be the same. That's why you see on the extreme opposite pole, the sadhus, the saints, the sages that renounce everything in life, yet are more blissful than these billionaires in the world. How is that possible? Because one has found the self. One has found the eternal bliss. One has found their destiny. One has found their dharma by going beyond the lower planes of consciousness and accessing the subtle realms of the spirit. You see the difference One can have nothing on the material, yet have more bliss than the person that has everything on the material, yet still feels empty, still feels a void. You tell me, man, which one do you want? Do you want to be constantly chasing after shit your entire life, which further feeds into the churning of this machine? Or do you finally want to unplug yourself out of this bullcrap and figure out your true purpose and access your true potential? Because that's what semen retention is intended to do, help you unplug. Because when you unplug after chasing after the most, emotionally potent source of pleasure, sex, when you unplug yourself out of that, and let's be honest, most men in today's day and age are programmed to believe that that's the highest pursuit. I remember being in high school, I remember being just growing up, and having sex was like becoming God. And for some people, they're 30 years old, 35 years old, 40 years old, still believing that's attaining godhood. Because they have such a limited, ignorant state of mind. You see, an animal can only achieve those 3 planes of consciousness because that's all it has: survival, sex, and status. That's its version of completing the animal experience, attaining the highest level, attaining prestige level if you ever played Call of Duty. And once the animal has done that, it's prestige. It needs to transfer on over to the next level of life within the realms of reincarnation. For you as a human, if you just attain survival, sex, and status, that is literally not even half of what you can tap into. Not even half. But most people are living life in the 50% version of their potential. I would say even lower, 30%. That's pathetic, because not everyone gets to incarnate on the human realm. You see, out of all the 4 billion sperm cells within your dad's nutsack, once you were conceived, you were the one that made it. That's a 1 in 4 million chance. So you're telling me you're gonna waste this chance on never accessing your true limitless potential because you want to stay limited as a slave to your senses. Yeah, it might feel good in the moment. You might get a little dopamine in the moment. But if you're not a junkie, if you're not a fucking child that is just trying to fucking eat candy all the time, if you're matured enough, spiritually speaking and psychologically speaking, you're gonna get over it. And there's a great quote from Sadhguru that states, the spiritual life is for those who have become bored of the good life, aka the survival, sex, and status life, and want to attain and experience the supreme source of life. Let me say that again. The spiritual path, the spiritual life is for those who have become bored of the quote-unquote good life. What society tells you, what the system programs you to pursue, survival, sex, and status. When you become bored of that, you tap into the spiritual life because you want to pursue the supreme source of life, aka the spirit, the soul. You want to become a beacon for that state of consciousness to live within you, to realize that you're here for a specific reason, to not only fulfill your soul, but also, again, to help uplift the collective consciousness of humanity. You go beyond just me, and you start to tap into the source, and that source guides you. That's what semen retention really does. And just retaining your seed is not going to be enough, but that's what this tool, in combination with everything else, is intended to do. Elevate your consciousness. It is a piece of the puzzle along the road to self-mastery, which leads, better yet, to the road to self-realization. You actually are using as a tool to ascend up the mountain of self-mastery. But that's what's going on in the true nature of this practice. What the true awakened men, sages, saints have told us. It's all about self-mastery. And that's what we talk about here on this channel. On the main channel, The Philosopher. Man, if you don't know about the main channel yet, man, you are missing out, because that's where we're doing all of our in-depth, nice cut, edited documentary style content, going into all these different types of topics, even more in depth and more in detail. Because what we do here on the second channel, the Philosopher Files, we're out here in the field, in the flesh, dropping y'all that game so you guys can make these games. You dig what the fuck I'm saying? We do no cuts, no edits, no scripts, just straight up speaking off the dome. So if you enjoy that, that's what we're cooking up over here on this channel, this second channel, the Philosopher Files. But if you want to tap into another side of the coin, that's what we got over on the main channel, The Philosopher. The link to it can be found in the description box down below. Click that link. You'll find the main channel right there. Make sure you subscribe. Tune into all the game and the sauce that we're dropping over there. But also under that link to the main channel within the description box is a link to my Instagram. If you ever want to DM me, talk about these different types of topics, chop it up about these different types of concepts, my DMs are always open. Shoot your boy a message. Don't be shy. And let's talk about these types of things. But again, all this stuff that we talk about here on this channel, the main channel, aka The Philosopher, make sure you go run it up, my boy. I'm telling you, run it up, subscribe, get up on some game. All this stuff that we talk about over on the private Patreon community, man, shout out to the fucking private Patreon community. Matter of fact, we're gonna take a quick pause right here, because for the people that have made it this far into the video, I'm guessing you're somebody that's sick and tired of being sick and tired in this slave mindset, of this slavish system. You're ready to have your spirit soar beyond. You're a true spiritual aspirant. You're really about this life. You're truly devoted to mastering yourself. Because if you made it this far into the video, that should be the case. Most people clicked off. So if I'm talking to you as an individual, man to man, as someone who views this path seriously, I'm gonna need you right now. Pause whatever you're doing and find the closest mirror to you. The closest mirror to you. I don't care if it's in your bathroom. I don't care if it's in your car window. I don't care if it's in the selfie camera of your phone. Take a good, hard look in that motherfucking mirror, my boy. Really analyze the person that's staring right into your eyes and staring right into your soul when you look into that mirror. Come on, man, I'll wait. Take a nice click-clack Kodak moment for the mental picture. Let it really marinate in your motherfucking mind. Let it sink into your psyche. Because I need you, yes you, to realize that that man that's staring right into your eyes and staring right into your soul, when you look into that mirror, you're doing him a huge disfavor by not joining up into the private Patreon community yet. Because again, if you're someone who's truly serious about this path of self-mastery, you are missing out on all the game, on all the sauce that we dropping over there for your motherfucking brain to help you elevate on every single plane. You dig what I'm saying? I'm talking about the mental, physical, and spiritual realms of reality. If you're ready to really take your life to the next level, that's what we're cooking up over there. Because I'm telling you, man, if you're enjoying this content, you enjoy my main channel content, your mind is going to be blown with the in-depth and in-detail breakdowns that we cooking up over on the private Patreon community. Because I'm talking about, we are dropping exclusive videos that you ain't going to find on this channel. You ain't going to find on the main channel. Matter of fact, you ain't going to find it anywhere else on the internet, because we are truly uncovering this esoteric science of self-mastery on a level that you have never seen before. So not only do you get access to all those exclusive videos by becoming a member of this inner circle community, but also you get access to all of our full guides, our in-depth occult lectures, our digital libraries, and most importantly, you will get an invitation to the Philosopher Circle private group chat where we host our bi-weekly mastermind live calls. Yes, sir, you heard me right. Bi-weekly mastermind live calls where you hop in a live call with me as well as a community of like-minded men who are also on this path of self-mastery. We got a private group chat to talk about all these different types of things, to be surrounded with individuals that are going to hold you accountable along the way, that want to see you elevate and eventually want to see you liberate. So if you're someone who's truly serious about this path and you want to be surrounded with more people that are not being stuck and not allowing themselves to remain a slave to the system, you want to be surrounded with individuals that are actually walking up this mountain of self-mastery along with you, because within the community, we're all starting from different paths along the mountain of self-mastery. We're all taking different routes, but we're all eventually reaching the same pinpoint, the same pinnacle, the road to self-realization. Realizing who you are beyond the brain and body and what it is you were really brought here to do. What's going to bring you the most satisfaction and the most fulfillment in life, while also helping to uplift and evolve the collective consciousness of humanity. If you want to be surrounded with people like that, man, because as you all know, the people that you hang around with the most, the 5 people that you are around with the most, you will eventually become the 6th version of them. So if you're sick and tired of being around people that no longer are truly seeing what is beyond just the surface level of reality, they're stuck in a state of spiritual amnesia, and you're actually looking to go deeper, I'm telling you, bro, the Philosopher's Circle is the place for you, my guy. I can assure you that 100% guarantee. But if you need any more information about the Philosopher's Circle and the private Patreon community as a whole, check out the link posted in the pinned comment of this video, not the description box. The description box is where you'll find, again, the link to the main channel as well as my Instagram. But I'm talking about the pinned comments. Just scroll in the comment section. You'll see it right there. Click that link. You'll be forwarded to our page, and from there you can find access to the private Patreon community as well as links to the other services I provide, such as personalized coaching programs if you're someone who's truly serious about taking your life to the next level, as we're going to be working one-on-one, mano-a-mano, direct access with me to help systemize a pathway using the esoteric sciences of self-mastery to disintegrate, dissolve, and overall detox you from all the degenerate habits that are pulling you away from ever realizing your divine potential and ever realizing your divine purpose. We are going to be dissolving your karmas in order to discover your dharma. That's what we do over on the personalized coaching program. So if you're someone who is interested in that, working with me one-on-one to help guide you along this mountain of self-mastery, shoot me an application form and we'll see if your criteria meets the qualifications for the coaching program. But if you just want to book a one-time call with your boy, discuss anything that you're dealing with to help you get back on the right track towards your true self, that's what we got the consultations call forward to as well. You can find the booking link right there. Again, all that good stuff posted in the pinned comment of this video. Just click that link. You'll be forwarded to our page, and from there you can pick and choose which one of these services best suits you. But again, like I was saying, all this stuff that we talk about here on this channel, the main channel, the private Patreon community especially, and especially within my personalized coaching program, is all about forming the tools, your artillery, your weapons, to break free from these karmic cords that are keeping your consciousness stuck within that system. That's why when you practice semen retention, you become a threat to it. You're no longer a pawn in the chessboard. You become a sovereign entity. You no longer are psychologically controlled. You actually reclaim back your own autonomy. You become a player in the game of life rather than being played by the game of life. That's a bar, write it down. Let me say it again. You become a player in this game of life rather than being played by the game of life. Better yet, the game of the Matrix, the game of the Maya, the game of the illusion. If you want to break free from that, and you actually want to see your limitless potential, what is required is for you to take upon this path of self-mastery, which semen retention and celibacy is a big part of. The road to self-realization is not going to open up for you until you are willing to burn off all the baggage that is holding you back from actually ascending up this mountain, going up the Jacob's ladder, ascending up the spine. That's what this journey is about, to reach back to the divine. You see all the sages, the yogis, the mystics and monks, they don't have to chase after dopamine because they have tapped into a state of divine nectar. One drop of that bitch is all you need for the bliss to imbibe your entire essence. Do you want to live life chasing after lower level pleasures, eating junk food, watching porn, and just overall just living a degenerated lifestyle and just chasing after things that the world tells you? Or are you trying to tap into a state of divine nectar, divine bliss, spiritual ecstasy that makes your life smooth, that makes your life aligned, that makes your life worth living? Which one? Which one? Because one requires you to just turn off your mind, remain ignorant, and the world will take you to that place. But the other requires sacrifice. The other requires you to master yourself. The other requires you to deprogram yourself, unlearn all the bullshit, remove all the baggage, ascend beyond your comfort zone in order to evolve your consciousness. It takes a lot on this side, but I guarantee you one drop of that divine nectar is exactly what you've been looking for your entire life. Semen retention can't get you there, but it is a necessary tool along the path. And that's why when you practice it, you start to become a threat to that system, because the system wants to keep you stuck within the other option. Because it knows it can profit off of you. It knows it can control you. It knows it has essentially spiritually castrated you, neutered you. You know, when people get boy dogs, they snip off their balls, and now they're no longer dogs. That's what's happening to you on a spiritual level, the more that you drain yourself of this potent source of prana, aka your sexual energy, your vital force. Do you want to live life spiritually castrated? Or do you want to live life with your balls hanging down to the fucking floor, spiritually speaking? Dragging them bitches around, living life aligned to your dharma, aligned to your destiny, no longer being a little deformed slave to the system. The choice is very clear for the people that made it this far into the video. I know I'm entertaining, I know I look good, but god damn it, man, I already know for a fact that you're watching this because the message resonates with you. Focus on the message, forget about the messenger. What I'm saying has already been said and done plenty of times. I'm not here recreating the wheel. My job, my dharma, and my destiny for the time being is to help revive the ancient wisdom and ancient knowledge of the past given to us by the awakened sages and make it more practical and applicable for the modern day man to actually use it into his life. All of these awakened sages have laid down the blueprint of what it takes for mankind to reach back to these states of divine bliss. They've already laid it down. And it's the journey of self-mastery. Because the journey of self-mastery realigns you back to your true purpose, your true potential, your dharma, your destiny. Nobody knows your dharma but you. You have forgotten it though. You're stuck in a state of spiritual amnesia. This is not a source of knowledge that you'll find in the external world. You're not going to find it in a book. You're not going to find it in a podcast. You're not going to find it from your friends or family. This is gnosis, divine knowledge that resides within, and it resides in your higher faculties. If your energy is always being pulled outwards and your consciousness is always rooted in the lower planes, you'll never get to these higher faculties and awaken to your higher purpose and your higher self. Nobody knows that dharma but you. Nobody can uncover that dharma but you. Nobody can discover that dharma but you. I'm not here saying that I know your dharma. I will never know it. But what I know for a fact, for a damn fact, is how to dissolve your karmas. And the whole journey of discovering your dharma is not by seeking for it, it's by dissolving those karmas. Because I always bring up this analogy. The dharma and your true self, your true purpose is like the sun. The sun is always out. But some days it might be covered up by clouds, covered up by snow, covered up by rain. Are you trying to search for the sun? No, the sun is right there. It's right behind all this shit. You don't have to find it. It's already there within you. You just got to remove the clouds out of the way. And the clouds in this case is your karmas. And one of the highest forms, the most dense forms of karmas you have accumulated, I've accumulated, everyone that you see is sexual karma. You need to burn that away. And you need to burn it through the spiritual fire of tapas. Tapas, in the yogic terminology, is a metaphysical form of heat generated through austerities. Austerities, like all this stuff that we talk about here on this channel, the main channel, the private Patreon community especially. We go in depth and over there. And especially within my personalized coaching program, habits, practices like SR, like celibacy, like fasting, like meditation, are all austerities that builds up that heat. And that heat burns off those karmic cords, burns off the clouds that's in the way from you ever discovering your dharma, seeing the sun, seeing your true self. Don't try to find your dharma, it's already within you. Focus on dissolving those karmas. And one of the biggest karmas that you must dissolve is your sexual karma. That's what the system has got you pulled down into. Once you actually start dissolving those karmas, you no longer are a slave to sex. You become a threat to the system. They can't control you no more. They can't keep you stuck within all the karmic debts. And you start to rise above and beyond. You start to see past the illusion. You start to see through the veil. And you seeing through the veil could be the thing that helps other people see through the veil. And then them helping other people. And then those people helping other people. That's the whole domino effect of Dharma. You need to focus on yourself, because when you do that, and when you're living life from a recognition that your duty is not just for you. You were brought here for a specific reason, not just for you, but to help uplift the collective consciousness of humanity from the dark ages of Kali Yuga. The way you do it is different than the way I do it. Yours might also be a YouTube channel, building a brand. Yours could be through becoming a doctor, through building another business, through becoming a musician, an artist. Who knows? Your Dharma is specifically designed and encoded into your DNA. You just need to activate it. However, in order for you to activate it and realize it, you must be willing to ascend to that point that actually is where it resides. The system doesn't want that. The system wants to keep you dumbed down in the state of ignorance. But for the men that are really, truly ready to ascend, this is what it takes for you to walk up this mountain of self-mastery. Because it's not enough to just listen to me and be like, oh man, that makes a lot of sense. Because that's just knowledge. Again, what we need is gnosis. Taking this knowledge and applying it to make it gnosis. Knowledge resides in the mind, gnosis resides in the heart. The transference is through first-hand experience. You must be willing to walk up the mountain of self-mastery. You know for a damn fact where's your little comfort zone, what you are compulsively tied to. You know your karmas. Because I always say this to people that watch this channel in specific, the second channel, aka the Philosopher Files, right here in the field, in the flesh, dropping all that game so you guys can make these gains, no cuts, no edits, just straight up speaking off the dome. You guys are more psychologically and spiritually matured than the masses. Am I saying that you're a chosen one because you watch this channel? Absolutely no, absolutely not. This ain't no new age spiritual channel. If you know me, I am with that bullshit. But what I am saying is, due to some of the karmas you've dissolved maybe in past lives, has put yourself in a position to where you can grasp these high level concepts. You're in the 1% of the population that's not suffering from brain rot. Most people can't watch a video for this long. And you add on top of that the density of the topics that we are discussing over here, oh man, that's going over most people's heads. But for some reason, you're able to grasp the message. Again, focus on the message. Forget about the messenger. The message is resonating with you. It's ringing with you. You are clicking. You are connecting the dots. That ain't for no reason. You are made and ready to ascend towards the mountain of self-mastery and access the road to self-realization. But it ain't gonna be enough to just listen to me. You actually need to walk up the mountain. And each step you take is the process of mastering yourself through all the practices, again, that we discuss here on this channel, the main channel, the private Patreon community, on my personalized coaching program. Each one of these practices burns off the karma, and each karma you dissolve is like a step of that mountain. Because you are not learning anything new along the mountain of self-mastery, which leads to the road to self-realization. You're realizing, better yet, remembering what you've always been, who you always are. All the karmic baggage, all those clouds that the system has programmed you into is just blocking you from what you've always been. The true path of what you were always brought here to do. That's the journey. But it takes sacrifice. It's not just about knowing it, it's about the gnosis that comes along by doing it. You know, when it comes to self-improvement, people that watch video after video, read book after book, yet never actually apply the wisdom, they're called mental masturbators. Well, I'm calling you, yes, you motherfucker, a spiritual masturbator if you ain't actually allowing yourself to walk up this mountain. Your soul wants to go up, but your ego and your karmas are tethering you down to the lower planes. You must find the will and stop being weak, spiritually speaking, to actually go up the mountain. Yes, it's going to be unknown. You don't know who you're going to become, but you're going to become who you've always meant to be. So what's the fucking issue? What's the fucking issue? Come on now, man. And I know this journey, specifically of semen retention and celibacy, is not an easy one. But look, bro, if you have not tapped into the Art of Retention ebook written by yours truly, you're missing out, bro. You're missing out on the Patreon. You're missing out on the main channel. You're missing out on the coaching program. What the fuck is wrong with you? Tap in with at least the Art of Retention ebook, a totally free ebook. Yes, sir, you heard me right. For the free $99 that goes in depth and in detail to everything you need to succeed along this path. If you have not tapped into it yet, go on the main channel right now. Again, description box down below. Matter of fact, just go in the YouTube search bar, tap in how to succeed on semen retention. You'll find a full guide on the main channel that goes into all these different types of topics, as well as gives you a link to get your own copy of the Art of Retention ebook right here, right now, today. Totally free again. Because the guide goes in depth to all the different types of things you need to succeed along the journey. But also, the book goes even more in depth and more in detail. So you have no excuse but to produce. No excuse. If you don't want to be a slave to the system, you got the blueprint to break yourself up out of that bitch. By actually learning how to leverage your sexual energy into a source of spiritual liberation rather than a tether that keeps you stuck to your lower planes. And look, if you retarded, you got ADHD, you dyslexic, you can't read, your boys got you covered with a full audio series of the Art of Retention ebook, again, over on the main channel. Just click the link posted in the description box down below, go on the playlist section on the main channel, The Philosopher, and you can find the Art of Retention ebook audio series right there for you. So you can pop it in while you're working, while you're walking, while you're doing whatever, and get up on some motherfucking games so you ain't out here looking like a lame, you dig what I'm saying? And look, if you want to take it up to another level, go more in depth and more in detail, have more support, have more guidance, that's what the private Patreon community is for. That's what the Philosopher Circle is for. Hop into our group chat, be around a community of like-minded men who are using SR as a tool to transcend their spirit. Hop into our next Mastermind Live call. If you want to even go more in depth and more in detail and get more direct one-on-one guidance along this journey, that's what the personalized coaching program is for. Again, all that good stuff posted in the pinned comment of this video. There is no excuse why you should remain a slave to the system, become a threat, become dangerous, become a spiritually loaded machine gun by actually learning how to leverage your sexual energy to a source of true fulfillment. Stop being stuck within the cycles of chasing after survival, sex, and status. You're more than an animal. Stop living in a limited state of mind. Tap into the limitless state of mind. Go from the finite to the infinite. Come on now, man. Let's end it off right there. Let's end it off right there. Semen retention will make you a threat to the system only if you're allowed to. It's been your boy out here in the field, in the flesh, dropping y'all that game so you guys can make these gains, and I'm out of here. Peace.